Hey, good morning. I'm going to be reading A Camping Spree with Mr. Magee by Chris Van Dusen. His books are awesome. Illustrations are great. Rhyming's a lot of fun to read these books. We read them a lot at home. And I'm pretty sure that teachers read these at school too. So maybe you've read this book before, I don't know. Early one morning at 7:03, Mr. Magee and his little dog Dee packed up the camper and hitched up the load, hopped in the Rambler, and then hit the road. They drove to the mountains far from the sea for 2 nights of camping, or possibly 3. How many of you have ever been camping before? We go camping in our backyard, that's about it. It's fun though. S'mores, sleeping, kind of. There's nothing like camping, said Mr. Magee. I know you'll love it. You just wait and see. The views are fantastic. There's hardly a sound. Aside from the wildlife, there's no one around. The air is so sweet, and you'll sleep like a log, said Mr. Magee to his small spotted dog. A few hours later, they took a sharp right and found a great spot to camp for the night. It was high on a hill with a beautiful view of Mount Adams, Mount Lincoln, and Jefferson, too. But perhaps the most wonderful feature of all was a brook that ran over a steep waterfall. Dee gathered pine cones and branches and logs. Magee made a campfire and cooked some hot dogs. And as the sun set behind the far distant knolls, they sat roasting marshmallows over the coals. As the embers went out, they felt tired and dozy, so they climbed in their bunks all comfy and cozy. But while they were falling asleep without care, along came a stumbling, bumbling bear. A kindly old bear whose sight wasn't so clear. He couldn't see far and he couldn't see near. But he could smell marshmallows sticky and sweet. They made him so hungry, he wanted a treat. Don't we all? If you look closely down over here, there's the marshmallows. Ever had marshmallows for breakfast? Don't. It's not healthy. He sniffed out a place where the marshmallows lay, but the car and the camper were in the bear's way. Yet that didn't stop the sneaky old snitch. He simply tried squeezing right under the hitch, and as he was shimmying into the gap, he pushed up the hitch, which let go with a snap. Uh-oh. I sense some trouble. Now that the camper and car were untied, they started to roll down the rocky hillside. The car bounced away in the old logging road, while the camper was heading where the stream flowed. It flew down the hill in a wild, bumpy ride, with Dee and Magee sleeping soundly inside. There was a snoring and snoozing. They were snoring and snoozing and enjoying a dream. With a splash, the camper went right in the stream. Oh no! The splash shook the camper they bumped out of bed. Now what was that? Magee said. And when he looked out and saw where they were, his hair stood on end, and so did Dee's fur. They were caught in the rapids, but that wasn't all. They were headed smack dab for a big waterfall. Dee and Magee both started to quiver as faster and faster they headed downriver. But just when they thought they'd fall over the edge, their camper got stuck on a rock at the ledge. So there they were stranded, Magee and his pup, on top of a waterfall 50 feet up. No thank you. Meanwhile, the nearsighted bear from before was searching for one little marshmallow more, when lo and behold, as if out of a dream, he spied something sweet floating over the stream. But what the bear thought was a marshmallow treat was really the hitch and not something to eat. I wonder what's going to happen. See, that looks like a marshmallow. Wait, no, where are we at here? And there we go. There's the marshmallow. The bear was determined to capture his prize, so he jumped in the water right up to his thighs. He splashed through the stream into the edge of the fall and snatched the trailer hitch up, camper and all. Dee felt a tug and Magee heard a knock as a bear pulled the camper right off of the rock. He dragged them both all the way back to the bank when he realized that his hitch was not sweet, but quite rank. He spit out the hitch and left in dismay, while Magee and Dee's camper rolled away. It flew down the path with a jolt and a jar and stopped in some bushes right next to the car. Dee popped her head out. Magee looked out too. Had they really stopped rolling? Could it be true? At last things were quiet and peaceful and still. They hooked up the hitch and drove down off the hill. And on the way home, Magee said to Dee, "That trip wasn't quite like I thought it would be." So when they got home with the sky turning red, they decided to camp in the backyard instead. It's my kind of camping right there. Although camping in a hotel with a pool and free breakfast is pretty good too. The end. A Camping Spree, glare there, with Mr. Magee by Chris Van Dusen. I think the library is getting close to opening up. You may want to investigate that a little bit. If you like this book, maybe order it from there and go pick it up once they start their summer kickoff. I know they're doing some summer reading programs at the library. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Get outside and enjoy the weather. We'll talk soon.